Testing, testing, mic check. Hello, 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 testing. Hello, testing, testing, mic check. I can talk extra loud. Testing, mic check. Yeah, we're here at the American Red Cross. No problem.
Live right now at 6, tornadoes sweep through the southeast, how volunteers from all over the country are stepping in to do their part. Plus, input wanted, a controversial topic will be on the ballot for Durand voters next week, what it is and how it could impact the community. And Rockford's newly appointed alderman to be sworn in tonight. What are his plans for the future of the 11th Ward?
From 13 WREX, your weather authority. This is 13 News at 6.
Good evening. Tonight at 6, we are still following the tragic story of that strong storm system killing several people and causing a lot of damage in the southeastern United States. Within those storms, NBC reports that at least 12 tornadoes hit Alabama and Mississippi Friday night. 21 people died. According to the Mississippi Emergency Management Agency, Sharkey County, about 80 miles northwest of Jackson, saw the most with 13 deaths. When it came to property damage, those numbers are even higher, as 1,500 homes saw some type of damage from the storm in Monroe County. That's about 170 miles northeast of Mississippi's capital of Jackson. Monroe was not the only county that saw massive property damage, as Carroll and Humphreys counties, both about 70 miles north of Jackson, have a combined 79 homes damaged from the storms. And when it comes to relief efforts, the American Red Cross is sending volunteers out to help those affected as we speak, including some from our area. 13 WREX's Emily McMinn is live now outside the Red Cross in Rockford. And Emily, how are the volunteers getting set to help those affected?
I spoke with a staff member at the Red Cross this morning who was heading down to Jackson, Mississippi this afternoon with some volunteers from our area as well. I also was able to speak with our sister station down in Tupelo, Mississippi, who gave us a look into the damage in a nearby town of Amory. The anchor and assistant news director for WTVA TV in Tupelo, Mississippi, Craig Ford, shares what it was like being in the area as the storm came through.
I could not get up this road early Saturday morning. So I literally had to walk about 2 miles down this road to my sister-in-law's house, where I caught a ride with her, met my wife, and then we went home.
Ford also says the community has been receiving plenty of help through this hard time.
We've seen a lot of outside help come in, not just from power crews, but from nonprofits, of course, the Red Cross, our local United Way, and ever since really Saturday morning, we've had a lot of people come by, dropping off water, offering, all sorts of aid.
The American Red Cross is one of the organizations providing help and says their plan is continuing to change as the damage is assessed.
In Illinois, we have a couple people going. This is a continual call out for help, especially as this is a developing situation. There was more severe weather last night, so it's kind of constantly changing. So far, we've sent over 100 volunteers from nationwide. We'll probably double that within this week, and there's about a handful of us going from the Illinois region.
The Red Cross also provides a way for people to help at home.
This is a developing situation. Again, we are having volunteers from all across the country go to help out. We don't totally know exactly what we're going to walk into yet, and so we likely will be sending more volunteers. And if you're sitting there watching this and wondering if there's any way you can help out, the best way is through donations, and you can do that by either calling 1-800-RED-CROSS or going to redcross.org.
The American Red Cross has opened 2 shelters down in Mississippi, as well as provided over 3,000 meals to victims as of now. Live in Rockford, Emily McMinn, 13 WREX.
All right, thanks, Emily. Good to see people coming together to help. Switching gears now to weather. After seeing a mixture of snow and rain over the weekend, it has been a lot calmer to start the week. As you can see, a lot of that snow already melting away. The week has started on the milder side. It's not expected to stay that way, though, with more storms potentially heading our way. Right now, we're going to send it over to your Weather Authority Chief Meteorologist, Alex Kirchner. Alex, when are those storms possibly heading our way this week?
So we got them coming in later this week, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to be specific. So the second half of the week really getting pretty wild for us. For the rest of this evening, looking pretty quiet. Temperature-wise, hovering in the 40s to 30s, so kind of a cool end of the evening. Then brisk weather coming tonight. And then, as you can see, after spending a day near 50 with some sunshine, we've got snow possible on Wednesday. Then strong, even potentially severe storms going into Friday. So the weather's all over the place as we get into that second half of the week. I'll time out just when we may see some impacts with both of these systems. That's ahead in the forecast. In the meantime, nice to have some quiet weather before all this gets rolling later this week.
Yeah, we'll enjoy the calm for now while we have it. Thanks, Alex. New tonight, a Winnebago County man has been found guilty of first-degree murder for a 2020 incident. Harry W. Lawson Jr. was found guilty of first-degree murder for killing Steve Delorme. Police say that Lawson and co-defendant Dylan Myers beat Delorme in March of 2020 and then dropped him out of a minivan into a parking lot in the 2200 block of 20th Avenue in Rockford. He was then found by another person and taken to a hospital where he later died. With Lawson being found guilty, he faces between 20 years and natural life in prison. In Stephenson County, the Freeport Police Department responding to 2 shootings over the weekend. You can see where they happened on this map. The first one took place Saturday around 1 in the morning. Officers responded to the area of Van Buren and Main Street, where they found a teenager with life-threatening gunshot wounds. He was taken to a local hospital. And Sunday around 3 in the morning, they received another call for a different teenager who suffered multiple life-threatening gunshot wounds near a home located on Stevenson Circle. He was also taken to a local hospital for treatment. As of tonight, police officials believe both victims were targeted. We are just 8 days away from polls opening for key local elections, and we here at 13 WREX will have you covered all week on the biggest races that impact you. We start in Durand, where the village wants your voice about whether people can raise chickens in their backyards. Supporters for allowing the chickens want to be able to maintain their own food supply and teach children about where their food comes from. Opponents of the move, well, they don't want to deal with the noise, and they fear chickens could bring predators like coyotes closer to people's homes. What's important to note, though, is that this vote will not finalize a change by itself. It's just the village trying to gauge how the community feels about the issue.
At least then that gives a direction for the board to at least have a deeper conversation about it, look over some of the other cities and villages' ordinances, see how they regulate it.
Again, regardless of a yes or no vote, it does not guarantee action from the village one way or the other. Switching to tonight's Rockford City Council meeting, a new alderman will be sworn in for the 11th Ward. Tonight, Isidro Barrios becomes the new 11th Ward alderman. Last week, he was approved as Mayor Tom McNamara's choice to replace previous 11th Ward alderman Tuffy Quinones, who passed away last month. In that meeting, Barrios stated that he hopes to grow businesses and jobs while he serves his ward. And coming up on 13 News at 10, we're going to have more from tonight's City Council meeting. State Senator Steve Stadelman and a task force of 23 people met today for the first time to discuss the future of journalism and ways to help the industry. Stadelman worked for 25 years as an award-winning television reporter and news anchor before his election to the Illinois General Assembly in 2012. During the meeting, Stadelman says there needs to be a conversation about the future of local news and how its future will affect families across the state. Still to come on 13 News at 6 tonight, national average gas prices have fallen less than a penny in the past week, and they're up almost 8 cents from a month ago. Here's how prices along our region are doing tonight. We'll check on that. Plus, we're taking a look at a product made in Rockford that has a shot to be named the coolest thing made in Illinois. And 2 football programs in the area trying to come together for a co-op. They get denied. We'll tell you what that could mean for their seasons this fall.
And snow and strong storms may be threats this week. I'll track the impacts. That's coming up in the forecast.
You are watching 13 News at 6 with Brittany Hardaway, Derek Bain, and Chief Meteorologist Alex Kirchner from your Weather Authority.
In a consumer alert, a new report says gas prices in Rockford have risen over the past week. According to GasBuddy.com, the average price of gas in Rockford has gone up just over 2 cents from last week, with an average price of $3.60 a gallon. The report also shows that prices are up a little over 19 cents from last month, but they're down about 76 cents from last year.
This 13 WREX Stock Report was brought to you by Siler Financial.
Well, if you've been following along for the past few weeks, the Illinois Manufacturers Association is going to be announcing the winner of this year's Coolest Thing Made in Illinois contest. One of the top 4 coolest things is a state line invention called the Rosenberg Moon Habitat, manufactured right here in Rockford by Ingersoll Machine Tools. They also had the astrophysics telescope that made it to the final 8 of this voting before they got knocked off by a Southern Illinois barbecue sauce. After 8 weeks of competition and over 55,000 votes, the winner will be announced this Wednesday in Springfield. Good luck to all those in the competition, but here in Rockford, you know we're cheering for Ingersoll. Both Aquin and Orangeville were forced to make the move to 8-man football in recent years due to low participation numbers. The 2 schools agreed to co-op this coming year, but the Illinois 8-man Football Association voted it down.
It does on 3! 1, 2, 3, now!
Declining football numbers at Aquin and Orangeville forced the 2 schools to make a difficult decision. They agreed to form a co-op earlier this year to try to ease the burden on both programs.
As of now, if everybody comes back and looking at the roster and the kids that have been at the meetings, we'll have enough to continue. But like I said, if those numbers dwindle, 1, 2, 3 kids, it's going to be very tough to move forward.
The Illinois 8-Man Football Association twice voted down the proposed co-op between Aquin and Orangeville, with the second vote coming down to just a 1-vote margin. With the schedule already done for 2023, the I8FA did not want to force teams to fill vacancies caused by a co-op.
It's not fun to go out and find another team, but in reality that could happen on down the road if we can't field a team.
Both Aquin and Orangeville have state championships in their football histories, and they did not take the decision to co-op lightly.
Very proud communities, very proud school districts, you know, with a lot of tradition in both of them.
Both schools that have had rich traditions and is one of those hard things. Like I said, we wanted to wait till as long as we could, and it's just one of those things where finally when you stare it in the face and you look at the numbers and the safety and whatnot, both schools are looking at that, and it's like, you know what, I think now's the time.
They thought now was the time, but they'll have to wait until the next vote in May to see if they get approved for the 2024 season. Well, Aquin and Orangeville already co-op in softball, and the 2 schools plan to co-op all junior high sports next year.